Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swag, and with us today, for the first time today, is Chicken. That's right, the first time he's ever been on the Warband podcast today. Here he is, Chicken
Just
himself.
Today.
Yeah. Specifically for today. Obviously, he's had other appearances on past days, but for today, this is your first time. How's it feel being on the podcast, dude?
It's interesting. It's not like any other podcast I've ever been on before.
That's true, dude. Most of those are good.
It's very niche.
Yeah, most of those are good podcasts. That's what makes us
extremely
special.
Niche.
But anyways, Chicken, dude, how have you been doing, man? How's WoW been this week? I know you were home a bit extra. Were you able to get like some gaming in?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I've been enjoying it. You know, getting the KSH, KSL, KSM, KS, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know?
Did you say KSL in there?
What'd you say?
Did you include L in there? I lost track of
I did, but I don't actually have it yet. This is like the first week where I feel like I've actually kind of hit a wall with just trying to get into dungeons and it wasn't specifically like the first one that I did. It was just like last week I pushed a lot. Like I went from like 1,500 to like 2,650 or something. I pushed.
Yeah.
And this week I got a 12 Sky Reach in my bag, and I was like, oh, like let's run this. We 3-chested it. And I got
wonderful.
a 15.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to run this 15 yet, so I'm going to try to run something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what I ran. Let me check real quick. I did an Algathar, and that worked out fine. But then, dude, I cannot get through Windrunner Spiraled to save my life. Or Windrunner Spire. Like,
really?
Dude. I don't know, because I feel like that dungeon's not that hard of a dungeon.
Bro, I'm goated at Windrunner. I can come. Bring me into tank, bro. Bring me in the tank.
Dude, every time I try to run that dungeon, it just it flops. Like, dude, first time I tried to run it, everyone, when I went into the first room, I just pulled everything, and everyone's like, what's going on, tank? What are you doing? I'm like, dude, this is a 13, first of all. Like, what are we not pulling the first pack? Are we not pulling the first room and lusting? Like, come on.
Wait, did they get upset with you for that?
Thing?
Were they upset? Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. Were they upset that you pulled that whole first room?
Yeah. And then
that's like,
it was
I feel
wipe.
Like that's like a normal pull, right?
Exactly. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I never said it specifically, and I was like, okay, like, I don't think I have to say it.
I've never once told people I was doing that in that dungeon.
Exactly. It's a 13. Like, it's not like, that's not like, if it was like an 8, then maybe I'd be like, yeah, like, let's lost first room, right?
Yeah.
But dude, I was like, okay, and then that group disbanded immediately, and then I tried a 12 Spire, and dude, people were just not like it. I'm getting to that point in the season where people are definitely trying to push higher than their skill level, and it showed in that dungeon. Like, it was rough.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to disband a key so bad in my life, but I tried to honor the time. I was like, let's just do it. Like, we're only 5-6 minutes over at this point. And that's all we were. Like, we were only 6 or 7 minutes over the timer. So it wasn't like, but it was like, it could have been better, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm getting to that point where I feel like I'm just like, do I just take another couple weeks off and then just grind at the end? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think
might just try to get it over with.
You got it, bro. You got it. If you want me to come tank any, just let me know. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, honestly, I could get it if I did like some just not that I have like super like the dungeon pool is really easy this time around, I think. I got a couple that I need to do, and I'd probably get it, but it's so hard, dude. And we got a question about this later. But sometimes I feel like people just pick people. Like it's just like these are the first 5 people that queued into their dungeon. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just gonna choose them. I'm like,
Yep.
no, like, oh man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
I almost never trust. I almost never trust who other people pick for dungeons.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
Right. I'm mega picky, by the way, and I know people listen when I say that, and they're like, "Swag, you're the reason why I can't get into a dungeon, man. You expect people to have like triple the IO score they need for that key? Absolutely, I do. Oh heck yeah, I do. Right? Like because that's my key. I don't want to. I like anything I can do to guarantee success in my key. I will do that. Right? Like
yeah.
you know,
No,
and
I
I
agree.
think sometimes like we forget about that. Like at the end of the day, like I'm putting my key on risk. If I flop it, right, then now it's gonna go down. That's more work for me. So like anything I can do to
I
guarantee
agree.
success. Dude, the other day I pulled in a preservation evoker. Dude, bro, no, dude, this guy was insane. He was doing more damage than some of our DPS.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Which I haven't really seen any pres evokers lately in M+. This guy was doing like more damage than some of our DPS on pools. It was crazy. Like absolutely
Really?
bonkers. Yeah, this guy was nuts. And it was for a +10. Like it wasn't even like a high key. But I think he was like a not world first, but he was like a cutting edge
1%?
raider, like a leaderboard
Okay.
cutting edge raider. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh wow.
Yeah, and so like
Fame.
Hall of Fame, that's what it's called. Yeah. And so this dude was like pumping numbers, like absolutely. It was crazy. It was fun though. His gear was like almost like it was like as close to 290 as like you can get probably.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Dude, crazy good player though. And I don't know why he joined our group, but he did. It was fun. He was vibing. He had a good attitude, right? Because I mean, again, at that skill level, right? I find the people who are actually genuinely really good aren't the ones who are trashing you the whole time. Like the people who like are like trashing in the dungeon and like complaining the whole time are never the good players. It's the players who think they're good.
Oh yeah.
100% every time. It's the like, oh, I'm too good for this. I'm too good, but no, you're not, dude. No, you're not, bro. I just ran like an hour ago. I was in a 13 seat of the triumvirate. And I was just running it with friends. I don't need it for score. I just was running with friends, and probably for some vault, which is nice. But anyways, we're in there. We're running this dungeon, and the mage dies on like one of the pools and just leaves. He's like, I'm out. It's like, okay, thanks.
Interesting.
Thanks for queuing up, brother. Thanks for bricking our key just because you died one time on a pool that was otherwise pretty clean and saved us some actually like more time than we lost from your death. I was like a little peeved. I was like a little annoyed there. I was like, you know what the heck. Luckily it was mostly a group of friends, so we just queued up another key and kept going and brushed it off.
Yeah.
I was like, we were doing a bunch of runs, and our one friend was like, yo, I gotta take the dog out real fast. Why don't you run a key without me, and I'll join for the next one. And so when they come back, they're like, oh, how's it going? It's like, oh, perfect. We're actually just starting another key. Come back. So it was like the one run that we had to pug somebody for was the run that gets like immediately bricked. I think it was Sea of the Triumvirate. It was on the first pool after the first boss, right? So we did the first boss. We'd run to the next area. We did our first pool. The mage died. By the way, the mage was just kind of struggling to live in general. Like he was like, we looked at the meters afterwards, and he kept taking so much damage.
Oh, damn.
Across the board, yeah. And so yeah. Anyways, though, all to say, kind
like
of annoying. Like, I don't remember where this conversation started. Basically, like when I'm pugging, dude, I have no problem in the world like being picky. That's my key, right? Like if you want to get into my key, like I need assurance that like it's gonna go well. With that said, if you're my friend, if you're my guildmate, that's a different conversation. I'll make exemptions there. Every once in a while, like I'm trying to like push a key, and I'll ask in the guild like, yo, I want to push this key. Anybody like very confident on running this, right? And every once in a while, I'll get somebody who's like, oh yeah, I can come do that. And they haven't like done like a key yet in like 2 or 3 levels of that key, but they really just want in on it. And that puts me in a really awkward spot because I'm like, I don't know, man, dude.
Hey, you're always really good at handling those, I feel like.
Yeah, because you want to be nice. Like, they're still your guildmates. They're still your friends. It's
you're just like, maybe not this one.
Yeah. Right, and I mean, like if it was like one of their keys, like if they were like, "Yo, I have a 13, I've only ever timed a 10, but I really think I can do this. I want to try it. Can you come tank
Then
my
you'd be like, yeah,
13?"
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
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 heck
yeah.
yeah, dude, heck yeah, right. So it's just like, it's a bit of a weird. I think it's a bit of a weird one sometimes, but for the most part, I do try to like do stuff with friends, especially like today, right? Like I just got out before we started recording, so I just got out of our guild's weekly Mythic Keys event, and we had a fun time. It was kind of a group of us who have honestly been playing since Shadowlands together. So we were just goofing and memeing the whole time, and it was fun. But also, got to knock out a few of my vault slots, and also help some of them get some rating, which was good. But I don't remember. Oh, we were talking about your week, what you were up to.
Yeah, I was just talking about my week. Yeah, it was good. Other than just like struggling to get keys done. But other than that, no, it was pretty good, man. I got everything I think I needed to get done for the week, and then, now I'm waiting for next week and hopefully easier loot and stuff to get. So as the what's it called goes on, it'll be easier and easier to get what I need. So I'm kind of just waiting for the weeks to go on to get easier loot.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's kind of like one of those things where I kind of just want to get it and be done.
How much more do you need? Like, if you were to give me a rough estimate right now, is it like 2 more dungeons, 3 more dungeons, all of them?
Oh no, I'm easily need like 5 or 6.
Okay. I have Resil 12s. I'm not far from Resil 13s. So like for real, dude, let me help you sometime.
Yeah, the problem is I've not DPS'd once this season. So
yeah, but I mean it's easier, right? Isn't that like it's? I heard it's easier than normal. So maybe, dude, maybe you'll pump, bro. Maybe you'll pump.
I mean, I might be interested in it. Yeah, we'll see. It was really nice these last 2 weeks. I haven't been working just because I had some leave.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. Where it's like I've been able to just kind of do that, but once life starts again, then it's kind of like,
gets a little harder.
Gotta get back in the swing of things.
Yeah,
so
coming from work, dude. I'm just looking forward to having a day off tomorrow, man. Sleeping in, relaxing, not worrying about too much. That's gonna be fun. So this week for me, in WoW, it hasn't been super duper crazy. Kind of running stuff. Our guild has started to do some Mythic Prog, which is not the norm for us. We don't normally do Mythic Prog. A lot of the times we get to Mythic and interest kind of dies out, and it's like, okay, whatever. But we always hit this like crossroads, right? Because we are an AOTC guild. We're an AOTC guild. I don't even want to say we're an AOTC guild. Let me rephrase that. We're an AOTC raid team in our guild. I try to phrase it that way because like our guild isn't a raiding guild. It's not a dungeons guild. It's really more of like a social guild. It just happens to have a bunch of people that also enjoy doing those other things, But it's very much like a social guild. And so anyways, we're our raid team is an AOTC team. So we always hit this odd crossroads when we get AOTC and you have a handful of players like, dude, we did pretty good. Like, do we want to take a shot at a couple of mythic bosses, see what happens? But then we'll also have other players who are like, dude, I just want to go like refarm. All I want to do is like refarm this, right? And on top of that, you also have the players who are like, hey, I was either on the bench for most of this raid or for the final bosses of the raid or whatever. So I didn't get to get the kill. I didn't get to get to AOTC. And I say bench loosely because it's not as much a bench as it was just a like, we couldn't continue to progress further because we needed certain amounts of damage in order to do it, right? Like we could not have gotten the kill, right? Without trimming the team down, which sucks. It's not great that you have to do that. But it, like how many weeks, right? At the end of the day, like how many weeks can you spend? But anyways, the hard part we end up at is like, do we keep farming, right? Do we keep farming AOTC, especially like the boss, which is very difficult this tier. It's a very difficult raid boss, right? I don't know if I have that much interest in sitting there trying to farm it again. Do we try to go back and schedule an event to get people AOTC that didn't get it yet, right? And for some people that might be easy. It might be like, oh, this person just missed that night. They were just out sick. They couldn't make it. Let's go back, get the kill. Easy. Done. But once you start to bring in like 3, 4, 5 people who really want that AOTC title but weren't able to raid with us for various reasons that night, or weren't a part of the original like prog team pushing it. It's almost like you have to start the prog all over again. I know that sounds weird, right? A lot of things are figured out, but now you have like a new team. More people have to figure out the mechanics. People can't die. That's one of those fights where if somebody dies in that fight, you're done. Like once you're out of battle reses, like, you know, and somebody dies, you just don't have damage. Not, at least not with our team, right? Like with our team, we right on the edge. Like it was right on the edge of killing that boss. Or do we go right into Mythic, right, and try to do some Mythic bosses? And so that was like the line that we were teetering on. And it seemed like we had the interest, or we have the interest, and so we're trying to do some Mythic prog right now. And it feels really good. It actually like really feels good right now. It's been fun to do.
That's good.
We haven't killed any Mythic bosses. We started on, what's his name? We started on Chimeras. So we didn't start with the Voidspire bosses. I think we probably could have gotten the first boss of Voidspire, maybe the first two bosses of Voidspire down. But there's also a part of us that would have a lot of fun getting the like achievement for clearing, quote unquote, clearing Dream Rift, right? For one boss. So we didn't get him down, but we're in phase 2. We're consistently getting to phase 2. We're just struggling, I think, getting all the kicks and the interrupts out for the fear mobs because they go so fast. Like, to me, sometimes I swear the second they spawn, they're like cast, like they've already cast it, right? Like it's like a half-second spawn or a cast time. You're like, yo, where the heck did that come from? So I think this week we're gonna get Chimeras down, and then we'll go to Voidspire and have relatively easier kills, in my opinion, from what I see and from what I've looked at. I could be wrong. Somebody might comment, be like, no, you don't get it. It's way harder. They might be right, but I think the first two bosses of Voidspire will be a nice step back coming off Chimeras. So we haven't killed him, but what's been nice though is like it's just enjoyable, the prog. Like the prog is what's fun. Like if we had gone in and killed Chimeras on the first night, like it would have been like, cool, we did it. We got the mythic kill. Awesome, that's great. We're getting some mythic loot. That's really cool. But dude, there is something that feels really good about like being on a boss for a couple nights in a row where you're like, yeah, we're getting a little better. We're figuring this out. Like we're doing this. And sometimes you have to remind people. Like when we're raiding, sometimes it's important for us just to remind the raiders on the team, like, hey guys, this is good. Like what we're doing is good. Like not everything can be like an instant satisfaction, right? Like this feels good coming off of Laura. This feels like another step up. Like this is fun. Like this is kind of a challenge. So that's been really enjoyable. And in that same vein, you've heard us talk about in the podcast before for our listeners, but our guild does what we call an academy raid, right? It's basically like a beginner's raid event. You'll learn for people who want to learn how to raid. We also have a bunch of people who join because they want to get some gear for their alts, or even they like raiding, but our normal raid schedule doesn't work with them. So having a weekly raid that you don't have to commit to being a part of for the whole season, but can just jump in for the days that you are available and not attend when you're not available. Some people really appreciate that. Our Academy raid started Heroic this week, trying to just learn those mechanics. And that was really fun because the hard thing with normal is very quickly, normal just becomes like a kill fest, right? Like you go in and you're just like, wow, we just cleared 9 bosses in 2 hours. That's awesome. Great. Good work. But the people who are joining you for it, while I think they start to feel more comfortable getting their like feet in the water to test the waters out, it doesn't really feel like you actually accomplish anything, right? Because you're in there, you don't fully understand the mechanics. You're pretty sure you did half of them wrong, but the boss still dies, right? Because you have like 5 dudes who showed up who are wearing like 285 armor and 99 parsing, right? And so you're just like clearing everything out super fast. Most of the people know the mechanics already. And so there's something fun right now too. In the same vein that we talked about with the Mythic raiding, there's something fun for our Academy raiders, I think, this week, being a part of boss pools where we weren't just one-shotting. In fact, we were kind of getting destroyed, and we're like, okay, we got to take a step back and analyze and see what's going on, and allow these players to build that like confidence up, but also build the understanding of that boss and those mechanics up. Where that does get tricky though is, again, we have a handful of the players who are a part of our main prog raid team, who then go and help Academy, myself included. And it's tough because there's a part of you that's like this is so easy. Like, can't they just do this? Like, can't they just get time?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to step back and be like, no. I had to take my time to learn how to do this. I had to figure it out, right? They need their time. They need I need to have patience with them. Let them figure it out. Just because I figured it out last month doesn't mean that they need to understand it right away. They need their time, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just that reminder of like patience of like, no, like, dude, they're figuring it out. Let them figure it out, right? I'm not tanking for this. I've been healing. And so it's fun watching. It's fun watching the other tanks though, try to figure out mechanics, and every once in a while I try not to do it too much. I try to let them kind of do it, but every once in a while I'll pop in and just be like, hey, actually, if you hold him right here, it'll make your life a lot easier, right? Like, this is what you can watch out for here. Oh, taunt swapping at this point will actually help you a lot more, right? Like those small little things every once in a while, and I try to let them figure it out first, and if they don't quite get it, then I'll step in. But they do a good job. There's no complaint there. It's been really fun watching them step into the role and tanking. I've been having some fun healing, even though I'm very under geared, and so I need to work on that a little bit.
It happens.
Yeah.
No, I really wanted to come to Academy night, but I just couldn't. I just had other things going on, and
like bed.
No, I had some people over, and I just can't. My guest room duels as my gaming spot, so
that makes sense.
I don't want to like leave them high and dry and be like, actually, I'm gonna stay up until 11. So you also have to stay up until 11. No, it's makes it a little easier. So I was like, I would like to go, but one of these days I needed to do the raid. Typically, I try to just do it every time, even if it's on normal, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it.
For sure, dude. It's a fun raid. It's a very, I mean, and the nice thing is like in 3 parts, right? So you don't even have to commit like to doing the whole thing in one go, right? Like you could be like, okay, I'm gonna get Chimeras down one day, then I'm gonna work on Void Spire, try to get that down, and then you can then go look at March on Quelled Knots. And honestly, in normal, they're not hard at all. So, especially with like good gear, you would have no issue.
Yeah,
it would be quite fun.
If we ever do achievement night, I'm probably gonna try to run it back on that and jump in that if there's room.
I believe we will. I believe we will have an achievement night coming back up. I'll let you know. There probably will be room. Just sign up quickly, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to take it from someone that's been raiding.
No, I don't think there'd be that many. I don't think we'd have like 30 people.
Oh, well, there
or 35
you go.
or whatever the cap is.
Dude, I'm still in the campaign, dude. I haven't done Void Spire yet. That's part of the campaign. I've yet to do it.
Rip, rest in peace. Actually, I think my wife is in the same boat. She came to me yesterday and she's like, because she was trying to do some campaign stuff to get more decor for housing, and she's like, I'm stuck. It needs me to do the raid now, and I feel bad because she's actually already done the raid, but I don't think it like retroactively applies the quest. I think she still has to go back and do it again.
Yeah,
but she's got. Dumb. Dude, even my wife has all of her trophies up in her house for each boss. All 3 of them.
Dang. See, that's what I need.
Mythic difficulty.
No, stop.
No, it's normal. It's normal difficulty.
I was gonna say that'd be kind of low key. I would be like, that was pretty dope, you know.
Good work.
Not doxed.
Sorry. So the other thing I was working on this week, I'm slowly getting back into building up rating for my DK, because I had hit my KSL, right? So I got KSL, and I kind of just took a break. I was like, I'm gonna take a couple of weeks. I'm not gonna worry about rating. I'm just gonna like log in, just do easy keys, get crest, get some gear, find ways to use my void cores, like use those up so I get some more Mythrek gear. And now I'm kind of in the spot where I'm like, okay, I'm like mentally preparing myself to really push and to like try and like challenge myself a little bit more than I have before. I need to be more intentional to start running with people who are already kind of in that realm, so I can kind of learn from them. So I might reach out to some of our guildies who are already kind of pushing up there, form some groups and try to see what I can do. But I'm feeling it. The other thing I've been thinking about is if I hit KSL if I hit 3,400 and there's decent time left.
KSM plus.
KSM plus.
KSMY.
KSMY.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
if there is still time left in the season, like a decent amount, like let's say like I don't know, maybe like a month left or something. When I get the 3400, I think my goal after that is going to be I think my goal is going to be the sorry, I was trying to remember the name of it, the triple threat. Which I don't think would actually be as hard as the 3400, but I've never gone for triple threat. I always joke that I don't do DPS, but I've been having some fun on my shaman and elemental spec. So I might try to run my DK for.
There you go.
Oh, I already have my DK, right? So my DK's already got all the tank stuff done. My shaman can do the. I know I can heal all the keys at a 10 level, probably already on my shaman. I did do one key above a 10 this week on my shaman, and then bricked it, but I'll get to that in a second.
Gosh.
And then I think if I really challenge myself and maybe got a little bit of a carry, I could probably do all 10s for sure. I think I'm very confident. I'm very confident I could do all 10s on my shaman for elemental pretty easily.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, so I was streaming on Friday, as I do, right? If you don't know, Swag streams on Twitch on Fridays. There's always a link down in the description of these podcasts. Go give me a follow, hang out with me. I love chatting with you guys while we're streaming. If you're like, dude, I'd love to just talk with Swag in real time, ask him questions, get like podcast responses live without having to wait for a podcast episode. Dude, the live streams are the way to do that. Come hang out. Every Friday, just about every Friday afternoon, 2:00 Eastern time, I started up. So I know a lot of you guys are at work, but if you want some background noise while you're working, it's absolutely great. So anyways, I'm streaming. And we're wrapping up, right? I think tonight is the final night. I think it's actually over probably already. I think the time is already up. I think we just finished. But that fundraiser to try and do the guitar building live stream, right? We want to build a guitar on the live stream. And so we're kind of doing that like a little bit of a fundraiser for it by playing Yahtzee with buddies. But we had some people come in to our to my live stream, and they wanted to kind of like help contribute towards that. And so they started like doing like a bunch of like sub donos and bit donos on the live stream, which was wonderful. Absolutely amazing. I'm so freaking thankful. Like, it was so nice, dude. Mm-hmm. It was, I think it was I think if I remember it correctly, I think it was like Beast Mode, Vornak, and Spell. Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing people. Super, super supportive. But they were doing it at the exact moment that I was trying to run a plus 11. I had not run anything higher than like a 9, I think, at that point, or an 8 or something on my shaman. So it's like, okay, let me go run an 11. I'll heal this. And it was already going to be kind of a little bit of a rough run. Like, I already knew from the start it was going to be a little bit of a rough run. And, I definitely wiped the group a couple of times when I'm, like, trying to, like, communicate and respond back to people and do all that stuff. Not to mention, at the same time I'm running the dungeon, I was also playing Yahtzee simultaneously. I had it up on, like, another screen. And so you could, like, see it on the live stream. Like, you saw me run a dungeon, and in the corner you see, like, the Yahtzee game going on. And I'm, like, trying to play that while also healing this, like, 11. While also, like engaging with chat and being super thankful for all the donos and getting distracted every time. Like, then I'm like, oh wait, how many was that? How many just came through? So, but again, everybody was so freaking nice, dude. It was wonderful. And we hit our goal. So I think payout is like later this week or something. So I'm going to try and order those parts in. I might order a couple early tomorrow using Memorial Day sales to maybe save a little bit and use that towards
it's a good idea.
Like a case or something to put it in when we're all done. But I'm excited. I don't know when that live stream is going to be. I want to get the parts in first. Just kind of double check, make sure I have everything I need, make sure everything fits correctly. I might drill a couple holes off. Like, I might take it over to my dad's garage and just drill a couple holes off camera, just because what I don't want to do is like try to do it at home with like a hand drill on camera and like biff it, right? So once I'm certain we have everything in place, then I'll put a date out for the live stream, just in case it's like I order a part in and that part's kind of junky, and now I need to do the live stream. I've already said I'm going to do it, but now the parts aren't here, and I got to like reorder something. So
I understand.
Dude, but I'm
It makes
excited.
a lot of sense.
I know it sounds silly. I know it's like so not World of Warcraft related, but man, dude, that's definitely like an area of my heart that I love. Actually, just this morning, my wife and I were doing some music stuff together, and it's just something we love doing. And so, being able to put a guitar together on the live stream, I can't thank our listeners enough. I can't thank the people who participate in that enough. You're really helping me do something that I've dreamed of doing for a long time. I've joked of doing it for a long time. Like I've like on live stream, I've like looked at guitar parts, like, man, wouldn't it be so cool if we did this? In the back of my head, knowing I would never do it because I just, just buying parts and stuff wasn't reasonable. But now I'm very excited. It's gonna be really cool. I'm looking at I'm kind of excited about this. I went on Etsy and was looking at some water slide decals for the headstocks. A lot of times, like they'll use to like do like the little artwork on the headstock and stuff. And I'm gonna have somebody custom print a special decal for the guitar that is just the Warband Podcast logo, like the one that's on the album art, like the little like icon, but just like the text with the lines and the like the axes or whatever it is. So we'll have that on there. So like the guitar will be like branded as like the Warband. It's gonna be pretty sick, dude. It's gonna be really cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Super random, random, but like I don't know, man. That's just that has me very excited. This week's been a good week. Been gaming a bunch, but Chicken. I think that's probably everything we need to talk about in terms of this week, bro. What's going on in World of Warcraft? Like what's the news?
Well. There's not a lot. I mean, obviously, we're kind of waiting for 12.0.7 to come out, but there's a couple little things. There's this Wowhead article that was put out, and it kind of came at a weird time.
Yeah.
Because and you can kind of go into a little bit of this because I wasn't aware that's actually how it worked.
Yeah.
But Wowhead kind of put out this article about, repair bills and like how people are complaining about how much it costs to repair armor at midnight and blah, blah, blah. And I don't think it's like any different than it has been in the past. Like from what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like they increased it. It just seems that now that there's all this extra stuff in game, uncapped crests, and they got these void cores that you can upgrade stuff, and you have your I don't know what are they called, the tokens that let you get the myth track gear at the end of the dungeons, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people are just running a lot more, but funny enough, I saw this article, and then like I think it was like a day later or something.
Mm-hmm.
Our guild master was like, "Hey, stop! Like I gotta turn off the guild repairs because we're like running super duper low."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness! Like what are the odds that comes out at the same time?" But then like people donated some gold, and it kind of got turned back on. But like, to be honest, I didn't even realize that was a thing. Like I thought maybe WoW just gave like a certain amount of like repairs on the house for a certain level of guild. Like I don't know, for some reason I just thought like maybe Blizz kind of helped out because it's kind of a social aspect of their game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was actual people's like gold, like 100% people's gold. Like I thought it might have been like, oh, like we have a guild bank and Blizzard kind of takes like 50% and the guild bank takes 50%. No, it's like 100% from the guild bank, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I can maybe give some context, right? Some more context.
Sure,
so
yeah.
You asked a bunch of questions. Number one, yeah, the gold in our guild bank primarily comes from our officers.
Interesting.
Yeah, we do like this time around we had a few guild members like really step up to the plate. We're like, hey, no, we want to give a good amount to the guild bank. That was hugely helpful. But no, we have our guild master and a couple officers like really farm a lot and build up a lot of gold, and they keep it stocked. They restock the guild bank that way. And dude, I could never thank him enough for doing that, right? Like the amount of work that takes to keep the guild bank stocked. That's something that we do. Like I say we, as like one of the officers, but really that's something that they do to just help people have a fun time, right? Like less to worry about, right? Back in the day, there was a bonus that guilds could get if they were like a certain size or something, or a certain level, whatever it was. There was like a cataclysm perk. There used to be like guild levels or something. And so there was, at that time, there was a feature where, like, I think every amount of gold you looted or got in dungeons or something, like a small portion of that would then go into the guild bank. And that was really goated. That was awesome. I think it caused some drama and caused some problems, though, and people were using it to, fill their own pockets, right? And so that one kind of became a no-go after a little while and disappeared. But even still, I think right now if you do like dungeons, like if you have like a full guild group doing a dungeon or like a raid, you get some gold, but it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. One thing our guild used to do to keep the guild bank stocked. Well, no, we still do it. It's just not as lucrative as it once was. We used to do what we call officer auctions, and so we would do a raid. We would do a raid towards the end of a season, and we would basically, during that raid, we'd put up each one of our officers up for auction. And the idea was you could, bet any amount of money, like gold that you wanted, or to like try and get that officer, right? And then people would just like one up you. It was just like an auction. So we used to bring in a lot. Like I think we would bring in like close to like 1 million gold, sometimes 2 million golds from the officer auction. I think people at back then used to show up knowing what the purpose of it was, right? So they like wanted to. Like people would show up being like, oh, here, we want to. Even when it was over, we'd have people like, hey, I brought this gold intending to buy somebody, but I never actually won any of the auctions. I'd like to still like give the gold to the guild, right? And then the officers who were won, basically like you got to do one activity with that officer of like your choice, right? So a lot of times people would make me go tank dungeons or hang out and do like a social thing. Z, who's been on the podcast, he hates PvP with a passion, so they would just make him go PvP with him.
Someone always makes him PvP.
Yeah, but then he tries to pay his way out of it, right? So
wait, really? Does he?
Yeah,
I don't think I actually knew.
But we never actually let him know. We never actually let him, but he tries.
Oh, I was gonna say that's kind of messed up, Z.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so it's that's kind of like some of the background for gold for the guild bank. Now, where we're at now, dude, everything in Midnight is expensive. Everything just feels so expensive in Midnight. I heard somebody say that like they're like, oh, maybe they've made it more expensive to make up for the lack of gold loss from transmog, but I don't really think transmog is any more or less than it was before for like across the board on average. Maybe for some people it's a lot more and for some people it's a lot less. It just kind of depends on the player. Because when you want to create a brand new mod, you still need to pay. In fact, you pay more than you used to have to pay, right? And the 100%. slots are more expensive. You want to buy more slots. The flip of that is that if you're somebody who just has like 5 mods that you use all the time and you're never making new ones, then who cares, right? Like once you do it, you're never paying gold again. So I've heard that, but I think across the board it probably evens out pretty average.
There's no more Valor Stones. I mean, that's a big thing. Yeah, like paying gold to upgrade, because it's not like it's a ton of gold, but it's not like it's a little bit of gold either. Like it's it adds up over time. Like if you're just constantly upgrading. And dude, the 5K gold for the dude, I'm just blanking on what they're actually called right now. The things that let you choose the
dude.
Yeah. Like to buy them, dude, 5K is a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I know that they offer you the Marl. It's like, oh, well, you can use the Marl or you can use the other crests, which, by the way, those other crests probably are not hard to get at all. It's just not content I'm doing, so I just don't ever have them on hand. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should go do content that gives them instead of like giving up 5K gold every time, or was like 10K gold every week, which is kind of stupid. And then you get an alt, and you're like, oh, I need to go pick up 10 of them on my alt. Yay.
Yeah, but then the problem is, like, I don't want to spend my void cores because most of the time, like, that's like currency that I specifically need to get like certain like decor items and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean the
So
marl?
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You don't want to use the
yeah,
marl.
the marl. Yeah.
Because there's so many things that cool things that you can use the marl for that you're like, oh, dude, I want to use up the marl, man. I need the marl for like decor
Like I don't want to
items
give it up
and
to
mounts and like transmog and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't want to give it up to get this myth track gear, but then at the same time, it's like I kind of want this myth track gear. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, dude. It kind of puts you in a really odd spot, and I don't know if there's like a win-win from it. It just kind of feels a little awkward.
It does.
Now, the other note, though, by the way, when it comes to gearing and gold spend, and I can't tell you if this is new. I think it is because I haven't heard of it in any past season, and I feel like I would have heard of it sometime in the War Within, and I did not. But different tracks of gear do cost more to repair.
Really?
Yeah. So, for example,
is that true?
Yeah. So if you have, let's say, hero track 6 out of 6, right? 272 eye level, right?
Sure.
And then you have myth track 2 out of 6, 272 eye level. The myth track, so same eye level, same exact eye level, but different tracks. The myth track gear is going to cost almost 70% more. To repair.
That's not like crazy, but that's, I mean,
it's almost double, dude. That's you're getting close to double the cost.
Wait, how much did you say?
Almost 70% more.
Oh, I thought you said 7.
No, 7D. Add a 0 in there. Yeah.
Sorry. I was like 7 isn't that bad, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, our Delver dads listening in right now are like, oh dang it, dude. Maybe I'm glad I don't have myth gear.
Honestly.
Ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like I remember seeing that article and then I was like, oh, like this is so crazy.
Yeah. So
like
as a guild, we basically looked at the bank and we're like, yo, wait a second, dude. We have I think we had like 40,000 gold.
Struggling, yeah.
Yeah, suddenly we realized we had like no gold in there. It was like 40,000 gold. And we're like, okay, real quick, halt this. So we halted, we turned off repairs, and then we just kind of had to look at how much was going out in repairs. Raid nights were getting super, super expensive. We, by the way, don't do raid night only repairs. Like some guilds will be like, hey, it's raid night, we're turning repairs on. Awesome. We're not a big fan of the hey, our raiders are special. They get the repairs, no one else does. I'm just not a fan of that, right? Like it's not our guild. Our guild isn't a raiding guild. We are a social guild that happens to also have a raid team. And so we leave our repairs on for everybody all the time. That's what we do. We want everyone in our guild to be valued and cared for and taken care of, not just those who do one specific form of content. And not only do that content, but specifically are part of our team doing that content, right? So we kind of had to sit down and reevaluate. Part of it was I think we just lost track. I think we've been busy. We haven't been keeping track as much as we have in the past. And so that probably hurt a little bit. And then part of it was also it's expensive. Things are getting expensive now. And maybe our thresholds that we were setting were a little too high. So we have lowered the caps for how much people can repair, I think, a day or something. Just to try and slow things down a bit. So we're still repairing, but maybe if you are running 20 keys a day, okay, that's too high of an exaggeration. If you're running 10 keys a day, maybe we're not repairing every one of those wipes, right?
Yeah.
We're still contributing with a good chunk, but at some point we have to say, hey, just because you're hyper playing doesn't mean the guild has to keep paying for it. So we kind of lowered some of that, which is really good and really helpful. And then we were brainstorming even a little bit of just how do we continue to keep the bank stocked in a way that feels like it's engaging for our community, right? But not like a burden on our community either. And especially what I don't want. I don't like that it's our guild master and a couple officers working their butts off to keep the guild bank stocked up so everybody can repair. I don't love that. It's fine. Let me clarify. I love the hearts that they have. I love that they're doing that. I don't love that they have to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
I think to me, I'm just like, I feel so bad that you guys have to do that.
Yeah, you feel like you feel rough. It's like
yeah. So
it's the
we were
the few
brainstorming.
doing the work of many, right?
Yeah. So we were brainstorming, right? And because here's the deal, right? Like I swag, right? I just did that little mobile game sponsorship, right? To raise money for this guitar build, which was wonderful. It was awesome. And I don't even think that we had the like highest engagement with it. Like it really wasn't. It was good. It was actually like the payouts probably a bit more than you would have thought it was for how many people actually participated in it, which is really good. But part of me is like, dude, maybe we just keep an eye out, right, during the .07 patch, right, when we know the season's coming towards the end, and we keep an eye out for like one of those types of sponsorships that's like, hey, look, we got to download this, we got to stream it for a couple hours on the guild live stream, right? But we know it'd be pretty easy to go to our guild members and be like, yo guys, download this app, play this app for the next week or two, right? Next couple weeks. That's what we're doing as a raid team to raise funds for next season, right? And then it's like it pays out $300, $400, right, from all of them playing. And then we just take that money and make it rain WoW tokens.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
No, right?
Honest.
Like minimal effort from our guild members, right? Utilizing the momentum they have, building up something. And that way, then everybody feels like they have a little buy-in. And part of it's like, hey, now, is that the route we're going to go or not go? I don't know, right? There's different options. But there's just cool things we can... I think there's cool ways that we can be creative to fundraise.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have to be, hey, somebody has to go farm herbs 6 hours every day, right? To pay for people's repair costs. But there's fun ways to do it, right? And maybe part of it is like, hey, next time we do an officer auction, maybe we need to explain the heart behind it again. Maybe it's been too long, and so when we do it, people are like, what is this? Why are we doing this, right? And we need to kind of explain the heart, like, hey, guys, this is how we pay for our repairs every season, right? Like, this is something that's wonderful. If you can participate in it, that's awesome. Here you go, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Those are some thoughts.
I think we should do an annual fee. You just have to pay 50,000 gold once a year.
50,000 once a year to be part of Astra Guild. I'm trying to think the amount of people we have, the amount we pay in repair costs.
That wouldn't cover it all, but I mean, that's like
that'd be a chunk. Dude, imagine. All right.
The concept of that.
Yo, I want people to comment. How does that make you feel? The idea of having an annual fee that you have to pay to be a part of your guild in gold, right? And to clarify, you know that the guild is using that fund to provide repairs. They're using it well. It's not like that fund is going to an exclusive group of members, right? It's not like the guild master's pocketing it. I want to clarify that because when we say that, somebody's like, well, I've been a part of a guild that the guild master was just pocketing everything. I was like, okay, well, that's not what we're talking about right now. That's not right.
Jerk.
Our guild is the opposite, dude. Our guild is funded from our guild master's pockets.
Yeah, honestly.
Which I think we need to change up, right? Like I don't want that burden to be on them, right? I mean, they do such a wonderful job to make our guild as awesome as it is, but I don't want that. I want them to be able to just log in and play the game just for the sake of playing the game and not having to take care of the repair costs of like 200 other players.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, oh, right, I don't get to play dungeons today. I have to go farm loot. Yeah, to be fair, I think they BOEs so that I can sell them on the auction.
Yeah, now to be fair, I do think oftentimes when they're farming, it's because they're in like work meetings or something, and they're just like sitting there, farming in the background, right? So that probably helps a little bit. That probably helps. That's
a different story.
Different conversation. Chicken, what else, dude? Yeah, that kind of. I think that explains though the costs. Repairs are up. This week our guild had like a little note there. And by the way, hopefully that conversation was helpful for people, who are listening, who are like, dude, I've been trying to figure out a good answer for my guild, like a good solution for my guild. I think there's a lot of fun, creative ways that you can fundraise. Some of them are through fundraising in game, right? You can do an officer auction. Maybe you could do some sort of event that like is a pay to participate event, right? Our guild does what we call we call it a naked run, and we basically just like make a bunch of level 1 characters with no armor and run them across the map to see who can get to the other end first, right? So we'll run across Kalimdor or something at like level 1, and it's crazy and it's chaotic and it's fun. Normally that's like a free event, but theoretically we could be like, hey guys, we're going to do this race as a fundraiser for our guild bank. Participation is 50,000 gold, right? Which sounds like a lot, but again, you're doing this. Hey, this is a big fundraiser for the guild, right? And then maybe like, okay, so I'm actually like, this is like live brainstorming right now, but I might propose this, right? And then maybe it's like you get to use like a speed potion or something, right? Like if you spend like another like 20,000 gold, it's like, hey, if you give us another 20,000, 25,000, right? You get to use like a boost potion. Like you have to like go give that money to like our guild master, right? And then she hands you the potion, right? Or whatever. I don't know. Is there even like a potion that makes you run faster? I'm assuming there probably is.
I think there is not.
Okay, is not. I don't know.
Oh, maybe there is. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Finding ways, right?
Sure, you can.
Maybe it's like, hey, you can have plus speed gear, but every slot that you have plus speed gear on, you have to pay 10,000 gold, right?
You cannot be naked for the naked run.
Well, you can just mog it, right? Just mog it naked.
True.
Yeah. Right, but now it's like,
but then you spend 1,000 gold to mog. No,
right, but like 10,000 per slot for like, right, and all of a sudden you've turned something that like it's kind of boring, right? Trying to find a way to fundraise, and it's like, oh hey, we've made it a little competitive, right? There's a store near my apartment. Right, it's like a gamer store. They have a bunch of like tabletop game stuff. They have like a little anime cafe section of it. They have like computers set up to go game. They have tabletop areas set up. It's really cool. Like it's a really really cool spot. They have good boba. If you like boba. But anyways, I was in there one time picking some stuff up. I think my wife was with me or whatever, and they had like a little tip jar out, and the tip jar was like, or they had two. It was like 2 tip jars, right? And the sign in front of it was like, who's the better father, right? And it was like Shao Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist. And, oh gosh, what's the guy's name from My Hero Academia? Fire guy.
No,
he's a dad.
No idea.
Those who know My Hero Academia, they know exactly who I'm talking about.
Fire guy dad.
Yeah. He's like the number 2 hero.
He's the fire guy dad.
Yeah. No, Endeavor. Endeavor's his name, right? So it's like Shao Tucker, and then the other one's like Endeavor, right? And like the tip jars were like mostly full because everybody who was coming in was like voting, or maybe it's like worst. Who's the worst dad, right? Like voting on it, trying to like claim who the worst dad was. And that was just fun, right? Like it was a fun competition, right? And so how do you add competitive elements to that where it's like, oh, hey, you know what? I want to win this race. I'll give an extra like 30,000 gold so I can have a couple speed boost slots on my armor. Sorry, I'm thinking about dumb things, but they are things that like could actually like be really cool, fun ideas to fundraise. And I might even bring that up with our guild as like, hey, just keep this in the back pocket for the future that we could do this.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Anyways, Chicken, what else? What else is happening in World of Warcraft?
Yeah, there's one other thing that I think we got some time to talk about, and then we'll go to some listener questions. They have announced on the PTR that you can now get Myth Track gear from Hero, like the Hero tier world quest stuff. So, to clarify, it seems like there is one quest that you have to kill a new world boss on heroic world tier, and then after, it seems it's not specifically out yet, but it seems like you have to do it over like a 4-week time frame, and you get like, you kill the boss like once a week. It's probably a rotating boss. There's probably 4 world bosses. They rotate once a week. You kill each one, you complete the quest, and then you get to choose between a mythic cloak, belt, or bracers.
Hmm.
So this would probably be the first time mythic track gear would be in world content, which is weird to think about, but I don't necessarily, I don't hate it because I feel like it's a 0.7 patch, so really who cares? Like, I'm not going to get up in arms about a 0.7 patch having myth track gear.
I think, here's my take, Chicken. I don't think anyone doing solo content or world quest content should ever get anything above like explorer track gear.
What?
Yeah. Like maybe adventure, but explorer, like that's all they deserve. All they deserve is explorer.
Bro.
No, I'm being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people would expect me to hate this. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, Swag doesn't want anyone to have mythic except
Swag hates
people who can run
gear.
keys and do keys only." No, actually, honest take, dude, I think this is great. Again, it's late. It's late in the season, right? Like, awesome, right? Like late in the season, do something fun, like allow more track. But also, it's not like hey, it's suddenly raining more. Like, I'm still not sure I'm a fan of the void cores, to be honest with you. But like, it's not like raining.
Really?
I think it's just too much too fast. But right. But this is like, hey, look, like, it's not crazy. But listen, if you stick to it, you do for the 4 weeks, you get a cool reward. And does it repeat? Like once those 4 weeks are up, can you pick it up again, or is it like
no? It seems like that's just it is what you get it once, and that's your tea. Like you only get it once.
Dude, I wouldn't mind if you could do it 3 times to get all 3, but I don't know how long that season's actually gonna or that patch is gonna be for.
Yeah, I don't either.
Right? To me, that's like it feels well paced. It feels like it's a little bit of a challenge. It's not gonna feel like homework for people who don't need it. Like, I'm not going to look at it and be like, I have to do this, right?
No.
Right? But for somebody who this would be a huge benefit for, awesome. Like, great. I got genuinely no complaints from Swag, especially this late in the season, especially knowing, as I need to be honest too, right? Like, dude, myth track gear is so free. Like, right now, myth track gear is so free.
Right
like, if anybody listening to the pod is like, Swag, you know what you're talking about. Myth track gear isn't free.
Do you want myth track gear? I'll just give some to you.
Dude,
right now.
like literally pop into our Discord and be like, hey guys, I have some void cores. I've never done a 10 before, but could someone carry me through 10 so I can get a piece of myth track gear? Boom.
Oh, I'd probably carry it.
Boom. Yeah, dude. I guarantee
you're not an absolute bot.
Dude, you could be a bot and we'd probably still carry you.
Yeah, you could probably be a bot and I'd still probably be able to carry you.
Here's the thing though,
That's
right?
fair.
Like, and we don't mean that like a bad way. Like, genuinely, like,
we're
actually giving you permission to do it. Like, we're giving you the permission to go join our Discord and ask for a carry through a +10, so you can get. No, I'm
low key.
Will I be the one to carry you? Probably not. Now, if you're doing it in bad faith, where you're like, oh, actually, this is my 17th alt, and I just want to gear him up real quick. Somebody come carry me. Okay, maybe not. But if you're popping in there, you're like, dude, I'm way too nervous to do dungeons. I don't think I'm nearly good enough. But I have a void core. Heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
We'll get you into a 10, dude. That's now myth in your vault and a myth piece at the end of the dungeon from the bonus roll, and a hero piece if you need some of that too, right?
True.
So my whole point being though, myth track gear is so free right now, like so stinking free right now, which I don't like. Actually, I think it doesn't feel great. I think they need to redo how M+ loot works as a whole. That's a whole different conversation. But because of that, right, like, I think I would be foolish if I was like, no, people shouldn't have the ability to get a single myth track piece of gear from a 4-week-long quest chain that requires them to kill, like, 4 different world bosses. That'd be stupid, dude. Like, at that point, like, okay, cool, you can't get a piece of myth for doing a 4-week-long quest, but I can, like, literally just spend 30 minutes in, like, a Giga Easy 10 and get 2 guaranteed pieces of myth.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. So I know I crap on it sometimes, and it sounds like Swag just hates the idea of other people getting it. That's not the case. I just want things to feel like they're appropriately tuned, I guess, is really the element that I care about. But anyways, Chicken, what else, dude? What else is happening?
Not too much. It seems like they're delaying the turbulent time wave stuff
Oh, do
instead
you
of
know
it
how
being
long?
like right at what'd you say?
How long are they delaying it for?
Instead of it being right at the launch of the .7 patch, it's just gonna be like halfway through or like a couple weeks in, which is fine. Like that's perfect, right?
Yeah. Well, interesting. No,
Is it not perfect?
well, so
I mean, it's
turbulent.
not like
Yeah, let me
terrible.
explain.
At least.
Turbulent time waves is often an indicator of when the next major patch is coming out, right? And so if they're pushing it back 2 weeks, it's possible that they realize they needed a little bit more time
Oh, that's
for the next
fair. That's
patch.
fair. That's fair. I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility.
That's
Um,
fair.
I'm also looking at the article that you linked as well, and it seems like there's because they're adding dragon riding with the new turbulent time waves, or not dragon riding, they're adding dragon flight. Sorry, dragon flight dungeons with new turbulent time waves, which is wild to think dragonflight's now old enough to have, time running. Wow,
Yeah, it
or
is a
time
little
walking,
weird.
time walking. But they are adding some new customization for the old dragon riding mounts, like the ones
Yeah, I
from
did see that,
Dragonflight.
which they're kind of neat to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad they're keeping up with those a little bit. It feels nice. It feels like appropriate timing to do that. If we ever get a time running Dragonflight, I guess that would also maybe be a time to add some more. But yeah,
True.
that's pretty cool.
I think I feel like at some point we talked about that even like maybe early in the podcast of like, hey, are they going to continue to release these like customizable dragon riding mounts, or is this going to be like a one-time deal with the expansion? So it is nice that they're updating it and keeping it alive at least.
Oh yeah,
because it'd
absolutely.
be kind of crappy.
Yeah, I mean, and they were mounts, so I totally understand if it was like, hey, that was the thing, not doing anymore. But it's cool that they found a reason to do a little more.
Yeah. I mean, it would be understandable, but
yeah,
it's nice that they're keeping it.
Yes. All right. Well, why don't we switch gears a little bit? We'll talk about our listener questions. But before we can do that, I have a few things to share with everybody. Number one, we love our Patreons. Like, for real. Our Patreon supporters, you guys are amazing. You put up with us so much. I can't thank you guys enough. Chicken and I are currently going to plan to sit down and re-brainstorm what Patreon benefits to look like, just because I think what we came up with originally just wasn't feasible for us to continue with. And yet you guys have continued to support us. And so we're excited to try and find some new ways to make it feel more valuable as a Patreon supporter. But we want you to know that to us, what you're doing is so exceptionally valuable. We care. And so if you're looking to support the podcast, keep us on the air or on your favorite podcast platform, you can do so through our Patreon. There is a link down in the description. You guys literally pay the cost that it takes for us to keep this uploaded, and we're working on some cool future stuff as well that you can look forward to. But it's not just about our Patreon. If you guys are looking for a community to be a part of, we actually have a few different communities that we want to invite you to. Number one is our Discord. You'll see a link to our Discord down in the description. Come join. Come hang out. It's a wonderful place to be. There's a lot of WoW players in there. A lot of people are super helpful, can answer your questions, can chat about whatever, whether it's lore, gameplay, etc. We even got some guys in there who just love delves, man. I stay out of that channel. They don't let me in there, actually. They keep me out of that channel. But
oh my gosh,
I go in there. I go in there and I'm like, none of you deserve anything. No gear for any of you. But then they kick me out. So anyways, come hang out on our Discord. But if you're looking for a little bit more than just a Discord to hang out, you're looking for an in-game community, like a family in-game that you can hang out with. We always want to promote our guild. Chicken and I love the guild that we're part of. It's a guild called Astra. We were so lucky to stumble across it one day. And the people there are amazing. It is an amazing community where it's really social. And it's about just finding your place in World of Warcraft, whether that's mount farming, whether that's house decorating, whether that's just, flying in circles around Silvermoon. That's what I do, right? It's just a space to hang out. We also, though, do offer opportunities to learn how to do M+ dungeons and learn how to raid. And we have another raid team that, progs every season, which is a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a community, we want to invite you to be a part of Astra. In order to do that, though, we don't post the Astra Discord link publicly. Instead, you can join the other Discord, our Warband Discord, link down in the description, and go to the Join Astra channel, open up a ticket, and when you open up the ticket, just pop over to that ticket and let us know in there what you would like, whether it's more info or just you're ready for an invite right away. Whatever it might be, let us know and we'll get that taken care of. With that said, though, it is now time for some listener questions. We like to take our Patreon questions first because they are supporting the podcast in such an awesome way, but we want to try something new today. We actually offered for our Patreon supporters, and I think we might do this more in the future as well, but we wanted to open up for our Patreon supporters to send in their question via an audio file, right? So we have the first one ever coming in from Rack right now. So we're going to take a listen, and then we'll get to his question. I haven't listened to it. I think Chicken has. So let's go.
Heyo. Long-time listener here. First-time caller, though. The OG Delve Daddy himself, Rack. Low-key, I actually kind of hate that I called myself that. But you know what? I'm owning it. I love Delves. I'm a dad. I'm a Delve Daddy.
Delve
Faithful
Dads.
fathers represent. Anyways, I think I've got a good question for you guys this week. It's not a new question. In fact, it's a question that I've heard probably 1,000 times over at this point. You've probably heard it 1,000 times over by this point as well. In fact, I think we all have heard it at some point, more so recently over the last few months. But it's a question that's been ringing in all of our ears now for a few years.
Wait, what are these birds doing here?
Just exactly what are those birds doing there? We've got Dragonflight time walking just around the corner here, and maybe now would be a good time to dust off the old lore band and school us with some Algathar Academy lore. Why exactly is it bird infested, and why is it up to us to clean it up for them? I'm also going to add one other question on top of that, though. Are you pretty happy with the dungeon selection for the time walking Dragonflight pool? Or would you have liked to have seen the No-Cood Offensive or Oldemon or something of the Dawn of the Infinites put in there as well? Anyways, keep it real. Rack out.
Bro, you can tell that Rack is also a podcast host. You can just tell. You can tell the quality, his way of speaking.
Wait,
yeah,
actually?
dude.
Is he?
Yeah. He's got an awesome podcast.
Oh, what the heck? How did I not know
Yeah,
that?
dude. We'll post a link in our Discord. Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Huh.
So a couple questions there. Kind of the first one's a lore question. I wish I could give you like some really cool, crazy. Like that's something I miss from like Classic WoW. I feel like Classic WoW always like original WoW like had like it was like a subtle one line, but that one line had like story behind story. In this case though, essentially, right, when the dragons left the Dragon Isles, the Dragonkin were in charge of kind of maintaining things, keeping things clean, in place. And I believe Algathar Academy kind of just fell to the side. There was some like arcane stuff that was set up there, but really there wasn't anybody being schooled. Like there's just no schooling going on. So when we arrive, when we go through it, it's kind of been maintained a little bit, but also not, right? So like you see like the overgrowth of plants in the one area, right? So when you get to the Lishrath arena, and they're like, what are these birds doing here, right?
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of birds, and then Croth, right, is there. Honestly, I think it was just a convenient spot from the nest. I wish I could give you like better lore, but as far as I'm aware, that is like
The lore.
the whole lore of the dungeon. Is that it just wasn't maintained really well. So yeah, that's about it.
Nah, what a goated dungeon.
It's well, I don't know, dude. Can I be honest? I know we're about to talk about some Dragonflight time walking dungeons, right? Which is a good segue. But dude,
Yeah.
I feel like new Algathar isn't half as good as old Algathar.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't disagree. Like, I don't.
And it kind of brings up the question for me, like, I feel like Blizzard frequently brings back these old dungeons, like, that people love, right? And so, like, now whenever I see an old dungeon that people love come back, like an old M+, and people are like, oh, this dungeon's sick, it's awesome, it's a great M+ dungeon. In my head, I'm like, yeah, but Blizzard's going to take out anything that was fun about it.
Bro, instant negativity.
Like,
Yes.
every time I'm like, oh, Blizzard's... Whatever was fun with this dungeon, Blizzard's going to take it out.
Yeah, that dungeon was cool, but just imagine... that dungeon is cool, but just imagine how it's not going to be cool one day.
Yeah, right.
Just instant.
That's my
Just
thought.
like,
That's my
dude,
thought
come
process,
on.
right? That's my thought process, right? First of all, the and this is such a small one, but I think this goes to show a lot, right? The melee mobs, right? When you're going to the last boss, right? You have the casters and the melee mobs, and they do the spin, right? The original Algathar Academy, those mobs, they spun in place, right? And so you could actually like stand at the right spot on the stairwell and not get hit by them. Like you could kind of like bait it a little bit.
Yeah.
And now they've like changed it where they just like throw these giant spinning circles down on the ground, and it like becomes a huge mess and it's a pain about to deal with. And I'm sure someone's listening to it and they're like, no, Swag, this is way easier. Because now you can still DPS the mob while they're doing that attack, right? Sure, probably. That's fine. Whatever. It's just I didn't even think about that. It just feels like anything that was like cheesed before, they found a way to like uncheese it, right? They're like, oh, you used to cheese this, let's uncheese it. Some of the mobs just hit weirdly hard, like more so than before.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
Which is like a little weird, right? They changed the bird boss. That might have actually been a for the better change. I don't think I like it as much, but I think it might be for the better. I like the idea of trying to hold the balls longer, right? And like see how long you can hold them before you have to go. And they've kind of removed that whole aspect of the fight. The headmaster definitely got a lot harder, right? The headmaster fight is a lot harder now than it was
my goodness,
before.
dude. I know. It is crazy difficult.
And now that and that dungeon went from being like a really fun one to run to a really hard one. I think Blizzard, for whatever reason, Blizzard doesn't like big pools. They don't like big pools. I think that's why Pit of Saren is such a go-to dungeon. Pit of Saren, dude, I was just running one today. And man, like every time I run that dungeon, the pools are just fun.
Yeah.
Like every pool is big. Every pool is big. I don't think there's a small pool in that dungeon.
Yeah, I don't really think there is either.
No. The only one I can think of that I do in that dungeon is when you're running to the final boss and you're going through the ice cave, right? And you have the caster mob.
You kind of have to.
You have the caster mob with the small guys. But I immediately mind control that caster mob and then take the small guys up to the mini boss.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So it's like, it's not even, right? Like it's still not that small of a pool because you're bringing all these like little small guys onto a mini boss. And it goes fine. Like that's no issue because those things are easy to handle.
Yeah.
And then it's actually really funny. Okay, I think maybe I mentioned this last week. It's really funny though because that caster mob is always the last 1% we need. And so every time I run that dungeon, somebody's like, we still need 1%. I'm like, no. The boss counts as 1%. And then we complete the dungeon and they're like, wait, how the heck did the boss count as 1%? But they don't realize that like towards the end of that fight, I like unmind controlled my mob and we just like cleaved him during the like ad phase of the boss.
Oh my goodness.
So nobody knows. And it's like,
that's kind of funny.
We were doing it earlier. We were doing with some friends earlier from the guild. And again, we're running to the boss, and one of the dudes just goes, hey, we're 1% short. Oh, unless Swag is doing his mind control thing again. And I'm like, I am doing my mind control thing again. But
dude, I don't even have mind control.
Right.
I'm talent into that.
But like Pit of Saren is so fun. It's just fun. It's a fun dungeon. And I feel like Algathar was that. Like in its time, Algathar was that dungeon of like, how much can we stack up, right? And you still kind of have that first stack, like that first room pool. I feel like it's a touch harder than it was before, but not terribly so. It just, I don't know. I feel like Algathar went from being one of my favorite dungeons to like this season being one of my least favorite dungeons.
Oof, that hurts me.
Yeah, I mean, I know you love Algathar. I just think like if somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to go run an Algathar or a Seed of the Triumvirate?" I'm probably doing Seed of the Triumvirate.
Oof, that hurts.
Yeah. Now, if they're like Algathar or Pit of Saren, bro, Pit of Saren, dude, Pit of Saren. I love Pit of Saren. Dude,
that's
Pit of
fair.
Saren, bro.
I got
a Mog that I put on just for Pit of Saren. I'm like, oh, it's Pit of Saren time. Let me put my Mog on for this. Yep. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
This guy.
Yeah. I love that.
Is it death? Is it like?
It's like all like it's all like Sarenite armor.
Oh, dude, that's kind of.
This guy's sick. Yeah. All right. Anyways, the last part of his question, Rack had one more part of that question, which was, oh yeah, the time walking Dragonflight stuff coming back. Are we disappointed that some didn't come in? I actually wasn't aware of which ones were and weren't in rotation. I know I should have been. I'm a little behind. I understand No Cood not being in there. No Cood is a somewhat confusing dungeon. And so in time walking, you kind of have to assume like brand new players are going to be jumping into it, or players who have no clue how the dungeon works. And I think that, dude, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Normal and heroic dungeons are some of the most toxic content in the game. Some of the most toxic, like M plus guys. I promise, M0 especially. Mythic dungeons are so much friendlier. So much friendlier that, I mean, we talk about the toxic people we get, but you get way more friendly people than you get toxic people. I promise. But like normal and heroic, oh my goodness, dude, people are toxic. And so imagine trying to go into a no-code, right? Somebody's just trying to speed level as fast as they possibly can, and you don't realize that you have to like get up and fly to each individual point, and which one to go to first and all that stuff. Ugh, dude, yeah, you don't want no-code in the rotation for time walking. I promise. Uldamon probably should have been in there. Uldamon's really cool. Uldamon's also really long.
Yeah, Uldamon is super long.
It is a really
5-boss dungeon, baby.
It is a really long dungeon. And it's not like a 5-boss dungeon where it's like, oh, it's 5 bosses, but like 3 of them are all in a row with no mobs in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Every boss is trash to get there, right? Yeah.
There's a ton of trash.
Yeah. I guess the first boss to the second boss, there's not a lot of trash, but there's still some. There's still some, right?
Oh, there's some, man.
Yeah.
That I don't disagree with you. I think that dungeon is crazy.
Yeah.
I would not want to be going back and doing that dungeon.
I like it. Like thematically, I like it. The dwarves are fun. Some of the fights are really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of like what people want from time walking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then for the other two, the ones that were part of the mega dungeon, mega dungeon stuff doesn't usually end up in time walking, but I would have vibed with that. I would have vibed if they were in there, the two halves. Yeah, that was cool content.
Yeah,
that was cool content.
I like Dawn of the Infinite. Mm-hmm. I think that was a fun dungeon.
Yeah, Dawn was cool content. All right, moving on to the next question. We have 2 questions from Tiger Ace Ray. First one, what do you look for in forming your own M plus group? I know the basics, B-Res, Lust, but I just prefer joining other groups so I don't have to deal with it and then saving my key for the Sunday Keys event. Of course, Wowhead put an article out today, but this could still be useful for a quick discussion. So I've not read the Wowhead article. For me, forming groups, okay, listen, sure, I check for battle res, and Lust. I am a battle res, right, on my tank, but also I really hate the idea of the tank being the only battle res, because what happens when I go down, right? Like, the most important battle res is usually getting your tank back up or getting your healer back up, more than anything else, right? And so if your tank goes down, now what? So I still like to have one other battle res besides myself, and then Lust, obviously. So besides those two, though, sometimes if I'm really pushing higher, I might be aware of like what meta is, but sometimes meta also revolves around the synergy of working with like certain classes. So I don't put too much stock into it when I'm not a meta class myself, right? A lot of times though, especially for what I'm doing, I'm not pushing 20s, right? I'm not trying to get like a 0.1% title. So a lot of times for me, it's not even about, getting the perfect specs in there as much as it's just like, I want good players, right? So if someone has good rating and good IO or good eye level and good dungeon rating, I'm happy to take them. Generally, I want people who are higher rating than I am.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, which sounds shallow, but that's my key, dude. If you got a problem with it, post your own key, right? But I generally try to get people who are higher rating than I am.
No, I agree. I would never choose someone that's like a super low rating or lower rating than me, but yeah, I typically try to keep.
Yeah.
I don't look at eye level. I never look at eye level. I could care less what eye level you are, as long as your like rating is semi decent. And the other thing that I look for is, like time dungeons. So like, if you are like a 2800, but you've timed like 20 12s, like plus 12s, then I'm probably more inclined to take you. It means the mechanics and you're not just being carried, right?
Yeah, because there's that player who's like, hasn't, like, for example, myself, right? I've been running like 12s nonstop, and
Yeah, like
because I just haven't had the
Yeah.
incentive to push higher, and I've been helping friends out. And just
Exactly.
farming
Yeah.
crest, right?
But you know what you're doing, and you do it well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is one thing that I look at. I'm also weird. I don't like taking two of the same spec. Like I don't know why, but I'm weird like that.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's smart.
I like a blanket of like okay, like this.
Sometimes I'll stack paladins though.
Yeah, paladin is probably maybe the only one that I would stack, but other than that, I try not to stack because every class has their own,
Paladin's just got so much utility.
Yeah, each class has their own utility, Priest, stamina buff, right?
Yeah.
Mage, lust,
Yeah, and with that said, right,
intel, right?
We didn't really talk too
Intel.
much about the raid buffs probably, but raid buffs play a good part. But for the level of dungeon I'm doing, I don't really think about raid buffs too much.
I don't
Shaman,
either, but
Shaman raid buff is pretty
helps.
dang strong though.
Yeah.
So like that's not a bad one to take. Sometimes I do think about survivability, like DKs.
Yeah. No, I
DKs
agree.
and Devour Demon Hunters are really survivable right now. Like they're pretty tanky. So sometimes that's nice to know, right? Especially if it's like, oh, dude, I've got like a mage or something. I don't know how tanky mages are right now, but let's say a mage, right? Because I just had one that kept dying. It's I don't want my healer to be trying to like keep like I don't want to have like a mage, a shadow priest, and like
three mages
and a warlock, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then my priest is like trying to keep all of them alive constantly, right? Like you want a couple DPS that you're like, okay, my priest probably doesn't have to worry too much, right? That's where why I like
agree.
paladins sometimes too, because they can be very self-reliant. All right, well actually no, Tiger has one more question. This one's probably gonna be a quick one. It's kind of a weird one. It's a very personal one towards me. I talked about it today, but I talked about it on the last episode, I think, or a couple weeks ago. I talked about, dude, I love guitar, man. I love playing guitar. Something I love doing. And so he asked, what is your Mount Hyjal or Valley of Heroes be more appropriate of guitarists? So I guess it's like a Mount Rushmore of like guitar players. Dude, I'm probably gonna butcher names because I don't always like there's one I have to look up the name just to see make sure I'm pronouncing it right. But like I feel like it changes a lot. And I feel like when I share who they are, if you know who they are, I think it gives away like stylistically what I play a lot, but that's what it is. Personally, there's dudes like James Duke, who I love. He's a guy who when I was younger, like high school, college age, I watched him a ton in terms of just like trying to learn his style, how he played. There's this can sound weird, but Tori Kelly, her guitar player, not Tori Kelly, but her guitar player, a guy named Mateus Asado, he's wild, but what he plays is just beautiful. Like he's a beautiful guitar player. That tends to be where I lean into. I don't usually tend to lean into like super shreddy stuff. I admire it, right? Like when I see guys just like rip on guitar, I'm like, wow, that's really impressive. But it doesn't usually inspire me to want to replicate it. Right? Like that's not usually where I go. Although I'll say like, dude, like lately, like I know it's kind of the fad right now. But watching like Mark Knopfler, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Watch him play. The guy from Dire Straits is just like really, really wicked good to watch him play on guitar. And the way he talks, the way he thinks about it. And then one that I'm probably going to upset, if we have guitar players who listen, I'll probably upset them by saying this. And again, these aren't the people I think are the greatest of all time. These are just people right now I've been really enjoying listening to, right, and watching play, or people who maybe historically meant a lot to me. But one guitarist I'm going to name, and I'm going to name him, I think, because our guitar players who listen are going to be like, why the heck are you naming this guy? Dude, but low-key, bro, John Mayer, goated.
Oh my
like if people were honest, John Mayer is up there as one of the goats. He's up there.
Oh.
And I know people probably don't want to accept that because he kind of plays that like pretty boy kind of guitarist, singer-songwriter, pop guy.
Yeah.
But dude, when you watch him just play guitar, man, there's just no denying. Like he's wild,
good. Yeah, he's
wildly like talented.
Yeah. Definitely.
But this is not a guitar podcast. This is a WoW podcast. We're gonna get back to what really matters to us. World of Warcraft. We got one last question from Agro Management, which, by the way, I love that name. That's a fantastic name. Fantastic name. Agro Management says, I would like a play-by-play through Nightmare Prey. I keep getting my butt handed to me. So here's the deal, aggro management. What I do for Nightmare Prey is I just don't do prey. So I'm not the one that asks. Chicken, what should he do?
Yeah, so that is a heated question because I'm assuming when you say you're getting, face, floor matted and taking a nice snooze with the Grim Reaper himself, I'm assuming you're meaning like in the actual fight itself when you have to, actually kill the prey. For that, I would just maybe suggest just taking some heal pots and trying to like get defensives. It's hard because if you play like a mage, then again, it's you're a little bit squishy. So it's a little bit harder. But in terms of like actually getting the prey to like trigger, I just do the quest in that zone to get more like experience to help him trigger, and then I'll just like fly around and look for the stupid little traps in that area. And after you disarm so many of the traps, you actually get an item called the disarmed trap. And then whenever the prey like ambushes you, you can just throw the trap at it and it literally takes out like half of its health bar, and then you can just like slap it once and it runs away. So I don't know if that's the problem you're facing. If it's literally just like the final fight is a little more challenging, yeah, you might just need to grab like some health pots and try to like stack defensives, and then just do your best to study the fight and do that. But yeah, overall they're not like crazy difficult. I mean I'm a tank, so it's kind of biased towards that. So it's do a little less damage, but would probably be really hard for it to kill me. But yeah, hopefully that helps.
Makes sense to me. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. I don't. I should have done Prey. Cool. I don't know why I haven't done Prey, dude. Like, honestly, I really should have tried Prey out. It just, I started to do it, and then I got distracted doing other things. And every time I've tried to start to do Prey, I get distracted doing something else. I don't know what it is. I just get distracted and go and do something else.
I think Shayna would like them. And then you get like the cool little trophies.
Yeah, she enjoys doing. She enjoys doing Prey.
Yeah, you get the cool little trophies.
Yeah. Anyways, Chicken Bro, that's all we got time for today. Do you have any final words for the listeners of the Warband Podcast?
Stay in school, kids.